your initial interest was in this form of therapy, correct? And then somehow you got into testing to find out whether or not the therapy worked. Is that right?
Yes. And that's when we discovered that there's a lot of aging clocks. We were so excited because longevity treatment is having a very big hurdle that people doesn't feel a lot of change. Like after people are doing plasma exchange, stem cell therapy, or eating supplements, when you ask them, how do you feel? Like, do you feel a lot of changes? Most of the people say, I don't feel anything. And is it working for me or is it not? Like there's a lot of confusions and a lot of these snake oils around that people could not tell what's working and what's not. And we were very excited about the biological clocks that was out there back then. So we were like, okay, great. Let's use biological clock in the lab to test what's working and what's not. Like before versus after plasma exchange, can we actually see the changes? And on blood biomarkers, like what I've mentioned, different inflammation markers or T-cell B-cell ratio, we can see clearly there's a distinction. But when we're using clocks, we either don't see any difference or we actually see the opposite effect. So that's starting from when Irina actually reached out to a lot of her collaborator who published a paper of the methylation clocks, which is using a linear model. She was asking them saying that, hey, why is this not working? Like we're seeing this literally on cellular level that things are changing, but why is this not like actually showing on the biological age clock? And they told her back saying that, oh, you have to tell us which one is young and which one is old and how old are they so we can tell you what is their biological age.
Oh my goodness.
And we started to think, wait a minute, why do we have to tell you how old is this person for you to give me a result of how old is this person? Like if you actually have a biological clock, like aging clock, it's supposed to be like a scale or a glucose monitor. Like after I push it on, I should be able to see what is your glucose level directly by measuring what is my biological age or my biological noise. And what they're saying is, no, you have to tell us who is young and who is old. And we have to put that in a linear model to train, which is, first of all, aging itself is not linear. If you think about that, you're not getting one gray hair per day. So if you're using a mathematical model to assume that aging is linear, like young is this, old is this, that process doesn't even exist. And that's when we published a paper on the front cover of Aging stating that first, aging is not linear. When you're starting to aging, for first acceleration happens at 25 years old. And then you get into a plateau where you don't feel a lot of aging. And the second acceleration happens between 40 to 50, which is about mid 40. You're having another acceleration. And then you're getting into another plateau. After you reach to mid 50, you're having another acceleration. So after this paper that has been published on the cover of Aging, and then Stanford replicated our study saying that yes, other than DNA methylation, proteins is using the similar way that's showing that aging is not linear. So that's starting from like back in 2023. We realized that any of the clock that's out there is actually not able to tell you a very accurate way of how your body is changing. Like the biological age concept exists, but the technology was never there. Like they were giving you a prediction of the model based on a mathematical prediction instead of a what's happening in your body in a biological way. So it's a prediction model rather than a measurement model. Like you don't predict your glucose level or your weight. You just stand on your weight scale and it tells you a number. That's what a biological age should be telling you, but they were not able to be doing it. So we basically failed test every single clocks that's out there stating that they're able to be tell your biological age.
Okay. So are you talking about all of the biological tests out there? So some of the more well-known ones would be True Age, from True Diagnostic. There's DNA Age. And then I think these are the two biggest, right? For biological age testing.
I will use a quote from a doctor because we work with 100 different clinics right now in the United States. And we are the test that the doctor trusts after they have been using different methylation tests like True Diagnostic or different tests. The quote from a doctor is, these are the tests that I've been using to before comparing, like before versus after. But I'm seeing 10 to 20 years of the change just in a month. And this is apparently not correct because I know what's happening in biology, which is I do have the blood work of these patients and I'm doing side-by-side comparison. And I don't understand why is this the result. So I have to tell my patients that, sorry, your results is not out yet, or they ship the sample to somewhere else. Sorry, we don't have your results, because it doesn't make sense to them. And that's when they started to be struggling a lot and saying that, but this is the only test who is in the town right now. What else can we use to actually do things? So after we published this paper, a lot of clinicians starting to be reaching out to us, including researchers who is testing before versus after to test out efficacy of these rejuvenation. Either it's stem cell, peptides, it's supplements, plasma exchange, you name it. So they were suffering before by using all of the clocks out there. But now they're using our test to having a very confident level of what is working and what is not, and how much is it changing organ by organ.